Everyone fighting for every position on the racetrack. Every position is a point. Kevin Harvick, Paul Menard in the front row, bringing the field to the green flag. The Brickyard 400's underway. 2 by 2. Fighting for position. Harvick has the advantage as he goes into one.
Kevin Harvick will break free of the field, and he will break into the clean air. That'll leave Paul Menard to race side by side with Joey Logano. Some of the boards racing there as they stack up further back. Harvick gets the break and set sail for the first time off two.
Joey Logano gets the help from Clint Boyer down the back straightaway as they go by Paul Menard. Now Brad Keselowski to the outside of the 21 car down here into turn 3. The field drives down into turn 3 for the first time. Paul Menard clearing Kurt Busch into 3.
You see how they lined up on Paul Menard on the outside. Kurt Busch trying to go with him. That's opened the door for Jimmy Johnson to drive underneath Kurt Busch. And turn 4 hits the three.
Smoke rolling out of the 41. An issue for Daniel Suarez, who was fighting to be in the playoffs, and the caution comes out.
It looks like there's damage on the right side of the car. Looks like there's damage on the right side. Right here, it's William Byron. He gets up the track, and right behind him, the 41 of Daniel Suarez. The first contact looked okay, but then it kind of pulled the right front end. This is on board on the helmet cam. Watch this. You're trying to carry the momentum, trying to stay in the gas. And you saw the second hit. The right rear hit, it wasn't that bad. It pulled the right front end, and then instantly it filled the cockpit with smoke. That is big trouble for a playoff contender.
Well, field approaching the Geico restart zone. Up front, it's Harvick and Keselowski this time. The 4 and the 2 up front. A little bit of help from the teammate there for Brad Keselowski. He has the 22 of Joey Logano behind him, pushing him into turn 1.
And it'll push him to the inside of Kevin Harvick as they race for the lead. Keselowski now will punch a hole to the inside of Harvick. Now they stack it up 3 wide behind them. Here's Keselowski with a fender out in front. Harvick, though, tries to rally back, and there is a tire rub on Kurt Busch. Contact there at this end of the racetrack.
This is the scenario you cannot clear as the leader down the back straightaway. You got to do all this kind of side drafting down in the corner, still side by side. 4 car, 2 car, on the door. He's going to get a great run off of turn 3.
That was a great run. You just don't see cars pass other cars on the outside like that. Kevin Harvick just drove it in there. Now you see Daniel Hemrick stuck out on the outside trying to get that. Now Kevin Harvick goes in block mode. Don't get that lead up.
There's no outside in Indianapolis. What is Kevin Harvick as the snake comes down the front straightaway in the draft? But watch that 5th, 6th car in line right there. That 1 of Kurt Busch. As Bagley mentioned, damage on the left front continues to smoke in the corners.
Here's what else he has to say on the radio.
Turn number 1, hard contact for Ryan Blaney. Make that another car, slamming into the outside wall. They come into turn number 2. It's Landon Castle. Landon Castle just pile drives the turn 1 safer barrier, and he rides the wall all the way through 1 and all the way through 2.
And we witnessed the second contact in that 0-0 of Landon Castle, and now waiting to see the window net come down. And there it is. That's a great sign, as the safety crews will immediately get to him.
Rick, that car has hit so hard it's damaged the roof. Look at the roof on this 0-0 car. That is a gigantic impact.
And you see very slow to get out of the car is Landon Castle. But a huge hit by Landon Castle here. Speeds upwards of 190 miles an hour when they enter the turn.
Rick, he came off the end of the front straightaway, and then hard shot into the barrier. Something let loose on the right front. Probably a tire going down there right in front of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Landon Castle at this point along for the ride and into the wall. Wow, what a hit.
As they come back to the green flag, this is 4 laps to go in stage 1. And now it's Logano and Newman. Again, every point matters. Newman, and right behind him, the 48. Jimmy Johnson's going to block. They're going to be 3 wide into 1.
3 wide, Kevin Harvick sliding through to the inside, and Jimmy Johnson just trying to hang on for now. They're losing spots there in that 48 car, as now Kyle Busch will open up the inside line coming out of turn number 1. Jimmy Johnson just trying to hang on and trying to protect as much as he can off 2. Jimmy Johnson, Ryan Newman going at it there. Behind them, here's Kyle Busch. Brad Keselowski, Eric Jones is sideways. He and Keselowski make contact. Keselowski and Jones into the outside wall. And Brad will slam hard into the inside wall. Massive, massive collision for Brad Keselowski, who makes just a hellacious hit into the inside wall off turn 2.
And it looks as though that car is sideways, maybe up on top. Yeah, it's up on top of the tire barriers. So Brad Keselowski, you see the window net is down, but hard contact for the two and Brad Keselowski into those tire barriers. He's going to try to climb out of that car. And he hops up. But Eric Jones also involved in this one. There's Roger Penske. Gave the thumbs up saying he's out. There's Eric Jones climbing out of the car. From the highest you can have highs, he just won at Darlington last week, to now not even getting to the end of stage 1 at Indianapolis.
Talk about the speeds here in Indianapolis. Look how short the back of that 20 car is. And look at the two of Brad Keselowski. One stage in and already two huge accidents here at the Brickyard.
Let's take a look at what happened here. It looked like Kyle Busch was going by the two car, and then Eric Jones tries to fill the hole, and Brad, it's very tight right there. Brad coming down the 20, trying to get in that position, and it took all the air off the right side of that 20 car. Eric Jones getting a little bit loose there underneath the two.
This time it's Kyle Larson and Kevin Harvick making up row 1. Larson able to set the pace as he gets into that Geico restart zone, and back up through the gears they go. Little help from the 12 on the 4. The 18 laid off the 42 a bit, but look at Harvick as he goes into 1. He might have the lead coming through 2.
He does for a moment. The question is, can Larson rally back? No, Larson cannot. But here's Larson with the crossover. Back to the inside of Kevin Harvick. Larson down low, Kevin Harvick top side. We're side by side for the lead in the Brickyard.
There was a little contact with the 42 and the 4 through turn 1. Side drafting down the back straightaway. Pulling away a little bit from third place. Ryan Blaney, the 18 of Kyle Busch, down into turn 3. 2 by 2 by 2, all the way back to the 14 car of Clint Boyer.
The second time we've seen Kevin Harvick take that power move on the outside. That's given the 12 car Blaney an opportunity to get underneath Larson. Now Kyle Busch, who was not happy with his car early in the race, is in 4th spot.
25% or so of the backstretch.
We got trouble on the back straightaway. Trouble on the back straightaway. The 18 car of Kyle Busch going up in smoke. I don't know if he's got a left front tire down. Oh no, that's an engine failure right there. Big engine failure in that car. Fire under the hood at 18.
He was just on pit road, so that was coming off of pit road, getting back up to speed, going down the backstretch, and now all of the smoke. It stays green. Green flag pit stops continue to cycle through.
That's the big key. It stayed green. Jimmie Johnson currently second. Be a huge break if he could get a yellow. He has yet to make a pit stop. We see the 18. I think he got to the access road though. Kept the fluid off the racetrack. Here he is coming to pit road. You heard Dale Jr. call it right in front of you, Junior.
Yeah, just down the back straightaway. A lot of cars around him. Blows the engine down the back straightaway quickly to the access road. That's going to allow this race to stay under green.
One thing these teams do, think about this. You think about this, guys. The 18 car, they know they're in the playoffs. They already had the regular season championship locked up. Maybe Toyota trying something different with engines today. Obviously, they don't build something knowing it's going to blow up, but maybe a little bit of an experimental engine in this car today.
Well, a lot of smoke, and the caution has come out. Jimmie Johnson is up front when the caution came out. Green flags back out in the air. Harvick on the outside. Larson this time with a better restart. On the inside, they make contact into 1.
And they come back into the corner, leaning on each other for a moment. Larson down low. You've got Harvick topside, and they're lined up 2 and 3 wide behind. Further back, Jimmie Johnson. 3 wide to the inside. Johnson goes around hard into the wall. Kurt Busch is there. Paul Menard is involved. Others are trying to avoid Jimmie Johnson, whose playoff hopes have just ended here at lap 104 in the Brickyard 400.
Yep.
Just set the stage. It's going to take more than points.
You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just curious why we were in that position.
There you have it. Jimmie Johnson was down at the bottom of the racetrack, and there was a lot of competition for the position he had. But look at the side of that race car. And we heard it too. That car destroyed. Coming through 1 and 2. Again, Jimmie Johnson was running in the 7th position.
So let's take a look here and see why Jimmy was in the position he was in. There he is on the inside, making up ground here, trying to draft. They're 3 wide right there. And I don't know, Jimmy Just doesn't think he had enough room down here. His teammate very tight on his door. That was the Byron car, but I don't know if Jimmy knew they were 3 wide.
Back up through the gears they go, and again, door to door, the top 2. Ryan Blaney, we'll see how close he gets to the 4 as they dive into 1.
Kevin Harvick with a new challenger in his right elbow. Harvick bobbles just a tad in turn number 1, and here comes Ryan Blaney, powering around the outside, trying to take the lead, trying to squeeze down in front of Harvick, and he'll do it on turn 2.
That was the first time that Harvick chose the inside line to control the restart there, and he'll lose the lead to Ryan Blaney around the outside. Impressive move. Joey Logano zeroing in on the back of that 4 car, trying to make a move as well.
Be interested to hear Kevin Harvick's reasoning why he decided to pick the bottom on that restart. The outside's worked for him really, really well the entire day.
Just a bit tight for Fred.
We got a spin off of turn 2.
Spin.
Hard contact with the inside wall. Kyle Larson getting loose or getting some help off of turn 2. There you hear it. He lost control of the car off of turn 2 into the inside wall.
And so Kyle Larson, who is already locked into the playoffs, slams into the inside wall, and a break for the 4.
Tale of 2 stories. Not a possibly bigger break for Kevin Harvick, because while he's on pit road, the yellow comes out, everyone slows down. They'll all come to pit road now. Kevin Harvick will be the leader of the Brickyard 400. On the other side, the 41 of Daniel Suarez lost a lap. You probably get it back, but he'll have to start all the way in the back. So now Daniel Suarez, he wants to make the playoffs. He is going to have to put together one of the drives of his life, back through traffic, gaining those spots.
Let's take a look at this 42 car and see how this all happened off of turn 2. There you see him behind, I think, the 10 car. Eric Almirola just loose. I mean, you wouldn't even think with the spoiler on the back of that car that these cars could be that out of shape, that hard to drive, but obviously not comfortable, not in the racetrack.
Bubba Wallace could shake everything up running 4th right now. Harvick has chosen the outside line. Newman on the inside. Now a little shove from Bubba Wallace in the 43. Harvick out front as they go to 1.
Side by side for 2nd. Bubba Wallace trying to squeeze down to the inside. Logano's there. Bubba's got nowhere to go. Off turn number 1 through the short chute. Battle is on for 3rd. Logano to the inside of Wallace. Contact in Alex Bowman. Contact into the wall. Further back. Crossways of the racetrack. Sliding down to the inside. And everybody avoiding Alex Bowman, who loses control, now slams into the inside wall.
And how close was that for Clint Bowyer? In the 14, you saw the yellow hood of Clint Bowyer coming right up to the 88 of Alex Bowman, able to avoid him. Once again, Harvick has chosen that outside line. Blaney on the inside. He's got his friend Bubba Wallace behind him pushing. Joey Logano behind the 4. Harvick with a great restart. He'll have the lead as they go into 1.
Harvick will take sole possession of the lead before he even reaches the corner, and that leaves them to scrum for 2nd on back right behind him. Here's Ryan Blaney to the inside of his teammate Joey Logano. Further back contact with Matt DiBenedetto and Eric Almirola. Almirola up the wall. Everybody though makes it cleanly through turn 2.
You saw it all in NASCAR nonstop. The 36 of Matt Tifft slamming into the wall. And so the caution has come out once again. It's the 9th caution of the day.
Yeah, we just talked about such a great run. When you see Daniel Suarez right here looking inside the 36 from the onboard, it's hard to tell if it was air or contact, but without a doubt, the 2 cars very close together. And the result is Matt Tifft up and heavy contact with the outside wall.
Back up through the gears they go. Green flag back in the air. Harvick on the outside. Logano a good push on the inside. Door to door into 1.
Side by side for the lead. 9 laps to go at the Brickyard. Logano fender out in front in turn 1. Harvick at his right elbow in turn 2. Logano drives deep into the corner. Harvick is there. They have a 3-car length breakaway over Bubba Wallace, and they still are side by side for the lead.
Harvick, Logano side by side. That's going to slow him down. What is Bubba Wallace going to do? He's going to have a huge run down this back straightaway. He's on the outside. No room. He doesn't have the run to be able to get alongside of him. Side by side for the lead through turn 3. Harvick takes it.
All day long, Kevin Harvick's had that move. That's worked for him all day. Did it again. Bubba Wallace over to take advantage right in the middle of this battle.
1 lap to go. Presented by Credit One Bank. 2.5 miles around the Brickyard. The 16th spot still up for grabs.
Kevin Harvick is already leaving turn 2. Meanwhile, Daniel Suarez trying to put as much pressure on Paul Menard as possible. It could be too much, too little, too late. Suarez and Menard race their way off turn 2 for the final time this afternoon.
Suarez closes in. This is pretty close. I don't know, he might have an opportunity to try to get a position here, but still not going to be enough.
And making the final turns here at the historic Brickyard, Kevin Harvick has won before. He's going to win again. Kevin Harvick wins the Brickyard 400.
Brickyard 400, baby! Awesome job, guys. Great job. Awesome job. Unbelievable.
And Newman able to stay in front of Suarez, meaning that Newman gets the 16th and final playoff spot. It will be Clint Bowyer and Ryan Newman taking spots 15 and 16 in the playoffs. And Kevin Harvick wins in the Monster Energy Cup Series for the 3rd time in 2019.